Okay, guys, so here's the last one, the final one to the year 2068 AD. And this is page 3, Saul David Solomon, 1948 to 2068. So, just going to have this up here. So, we're going to start up here in 905 BC. Solomon finishes his house and he brings in his Egyptian wife. This corresponds with the year 2045 AD. The final sealed believers enter the fold. All are gathered. It kind of reminds me of the Almighty shutting Noah and his folks into the ark. But that was 7 years before, so this is a little bit different. I'm going to see. So 889 BC, Solomon is warned because his heart has turned. Many of his enemies begin to attack him. In the year 2061 AD, Halley's Comet, warning that only 7 years remain until the fire burns the earth from above and below. Now, I believe this is another jubilee year for them in 883 BC. The people are returning. Remember, because Solomon's heart had turned, so the Almighty was bringing people back to take over. One was Jeroboam, who was in Egypt, and Hadad returns. Jeroboam comes back to defy. 2067 is the final jubilee. The enemies of Yahweh come to attack. They all come back because, as what I am seeing, many of the believers might actually be falling away at this time. And even before that, in the years in between 2045 to 2067, there's going to be a lot of people leaving the church, leaving Israel. And I'll get to that in just a minute. 882 BC, Solomon dies, 70 years old. Rehoboam, his son, is now king over Judah, and Jeroboam is the king over Israel. Now, the interesting thing, Rehoboam means the people of the broad road. Now, that reminds me of a story that Christ told us in the New Testament. Remember to stay on the straight path, don't go on the broad road. He rebelled, and he took Judah with him into sin. Jeroboam did the same thing with Israel. So in this, it says that people contended. That's the name of Jeroboam. He was over Israel. 2068 AD, the final judgment, fire from above and fire from below. The division of the wheat and the chaff, the goats and the sheep. So, guys, I really think that because Israel is a nation, it isn't a nation because God wanted the quote-unquote Jews or the Hebrews to come back to their land. Guys, this is what I believe, that Israel became a nation as a beginning to the 120 years, which I have shown in several other videos, that at the beginning of a 120-year pattern or cycle, like give you an example of Crassus, who looted the temple in 51 BC, and then 120 years later, Titus came, destroyed Jerusalem, burned the temple to the ground, and obviously looted it as well. That was a symbol. Crassus coming in and looting the temple. That was a foreshadowing of something bigger to come, which was Titus and the Roman army. So I see the same thing here. The beginning of the 120-year time period was in 1948 when Israel became a nation. What I see is that's the symbol. And the larger of all of this will be from 2061 on. He will try your heart. He will try your minds. He will try the souls, and he will get his people gathered together. This is the true Israel, folks. Those who believe in the resurrection of Yeshua and are resurrected in their minds. Death, burial, and resurrection of the old man to the new. Fire from above and below. This is literal. The earth was flooded in the time of Noah. And it's going to be burned in our future. A lot of people say, well, Mr. Stewart, you believe in preterism. I said, yes, I do, because I believe that all of the prophecies of Yeshua have been fulfilled. Well, why is there still death? Let me ask you this question. Did or did not Yeshua fulfill all of the prophecies that he came to fulfill? Did or did he not overcome death? Of course he did. So death has been overcome. So why do people say, oh, well, then why is there still death? Well, because first off, we have to go back to the Old Testament where it's talking about Joshua fighting with Moses and Hur, with the Amalekites, which is, quote-unquote, the carnal man. For generations, there will be war with Amalek for generations. Joshua will war with Amalek for generations. There's so much more into that. I'll have to get into that in another video, but this is it, guys. 2068. 2,000 years with the Messiah. Final judgment, fire above and below. This is when it all happens. First, you'll see Haley's comment. It'll warn. It'll say, look, hey guys, 7 years remaining. Turn your hearts, minds, and souls. Get on the right track. So at any rate, guys, this is the final page that I have. I'm going to be doing other things like this here. This is Earth's final 50 years. 2018 to 2068. From this year until 2068. So 50 years. So that's the next one I'm going to be doing. Thanks, guys. Please make sure you let other people see these videos. Share them if you want. I think they're important. A lot of people say that we're in the end times now. Well, a lot of things are happening. Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un at their summit. It's quite an interesting time. It's a jubilee year, folks. People are coming back. But this is the final jubilee year, 2067 to 2068. It's the final one. Okay, guys, 8 minutes. Sorry, this wasn't even supposed to be 5 minutes long. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Bye now.